scales of war. Prologue. Chapter 3. The day was cloudy when we walked through the forest. I led the way with Oliver, Freya, and the one I had chosen to love till the end of her days, Sarah. The forest would have been an idyllic place had it not been for Oliver's insistence on complaining after the first 5 minutes in nature. What began as a peaceful stroll quickly turned into a complete meltdown. Oliver had started being all about the fresh air and the peaceful charm of a quiet walk through nature. 15 minutes in, he swore he'd never walk again. 5 minutes after that, he was muttering about setting fire to every tree on the planet and killing every insect. Freya had told him to be quiet about a dozen times, each time trying and failing to focus on the songs of the wild. Meanwhile, Sarah, my dear Sarah, remained composed, a quiet anchor in the chaos, her calm presence contrasting sharply with Oliver's frenzy and Freya's annoyance. She merely shook her head every time the two barked at each other, always with a warm smile on her lips. Sarah somehow always noticed when my eyes were upon her. She'd always respond with that subtle head tilt, curious and thoughtful, almost like she was deciphering something. I had a suspicion she knew far more than she let on. The trees soon parted, and I pushed a branch aside to step into the clearing first. Freya followed close behind, holding the branch for Sarah as she came through. Even in the muted, overcast light, Sarah was beautiful, standing still in the tall grass, her blue summer dress catching the faint breeze. The color mirrored her crystal blue eyes perfectly. We stood there for a moment, eyes locked, unmoving, as if the world itself had paused. The stillness was broken, however, by Oliver's sudden scream. Freya had released the branch just as he stepped forward, and it whipped back into his face with a sharp snap. The sound he made was anything but dignified, a scream even a teenage girl would have been embarrassed by. He shoved the branch away and stumbled into the clearing, half tripping over his own feet.
"You are mean, you know that? You are one mean lady,"
he said to Freya while trying to get the worst of the pine needles out of his own hair.
It shut you up. Funny how I almost thought we had a 14-year-old girl with us. I thought you joined the army. How can you complain this much on a walk through the forest?
Well, first off,
The argument was cut short by my cough. Oliver and Freya slowly turned their heads to Sarah and me. "Are you two done?" I asked them both, cocking a brow in challenge. Oliver shot a quick, angry glare at Freya before they both stepped forward, joining Sarah.
Honestly, if you brought us all the way out here to kill us, I will be pissed and haunt you forever,"
Oliver warned. I just sighed and closed my eyes, letting the memory of scouting this place only a week ago wash over me. The time between a reminder of how long I had wrestled with this moment. Even now, standing here, courage felt thin. The second I opened my eyes again, I knew they were burning with the orange glow of embers. Before my friends could react to the change in my eyes, great black scaly wings tore from my back, stretching wide with a crack of power. Oliver and Freya froze, mouths open in shock. Sarah, however, only smiled gently, almost like a piece of the puzzle finally clicked into place for her.
"Just to be clear, I know I complained a lot on the way here, but I am not flying back,"
Oliver said jokingly, although I suspected he was being extremely serious. Freya sent him a scolding look, which he answered with a smile and a shrug.
What are you, a demon, a fallen angel?
Freya asked, starting to inch towards me. Sarah merely stood in silence and smiled, letting the other two sort through their own emotions. I held up my hand to signal Freya to stop moving. I am no demon, nor am I an angel. I am something far different and older. I have had many names through the years. Fafnir in Scandinavia, Apep in Egypt, Yamato no Orochi in Asia and in Greece. I sighed. Well, you get the point. Before they could ask any more questions, my true form ripped through my body. I now towered at 4 meters tall, my body covered in obsidian black scales that shimmered faintly under the muted light of the sun, cloaked behind thick clouds. A creature born of myth and legend, a great black dragon. Broad wings unfurled from my back, powerful enough to easily carry me across the skies. My tail, long and powerful, capable of breaking down stone and shattering any wall that was in my way. My claws, curved and cruel, were made for rending flesh into crimson ribbons. 2 massive horns protruded from my head, flanked by a line of smaller jabbed spikes that ran down my spine, morphing into thick, raised scutes that armored my back and tail in an unyielding shell of natural steel. My maw was filled with massive, black, deadly fangs. I was not merely a predator. I was destruction incarnate, a force of nature wrapped in leathery wings and obsidian armor. And yet even all this, the fangs, the claws, the monstrous frame, was nothing compared to the power burning inside me. I could unleash fire and molten stone with a roar, summon mountains from the earth itself, or reduce them to rubble with a single thought. The land itself was bound to me, its ancient pulse echoing through my core. The earth was my element, and it answered solely to me. Freya had frozen mid-step, her breath caught in her throat. Oliver had instinctively shifted, placing himself between me and Sarah, protective and trembling. And Sarah, she had taken a small, almost imperceptible step backwards, her face pale with awe and terror. They all stared at me with wide, unblinking eyes, no longer wondering who I was, but whether they could even survive if they ran now.
"You are a dragon,"
Sarah whispered, more a statement than a question. Her words seemed to settle something in the air, easing Oliver's and Freya's tension slightly, giving me the opening to explain what they were truly witnessing. In a way, and yet not. In unison, they all clapped their hands to their ears as I spoke. They were not used to the mental communication of my kin. It felt loud even though, in truth, it didn't make a sound as I spoke directly into their minds. Flames engulfed me in an instant, and as quickly as the flames had appeared, they were gone and left me standing in the middle of a scorched patch of grass in my human visage once again. I am ancient and forever, a true immortal, unlike all else. I am of the earth, as the earth is an extension of me. The earth beneath us rumbled in emphasis. Oliver and Freya glanced down, but Sarah never took her eyes off me. I have lived longer and seen more than you could ever imagine. The 3 of you are the first humans to ever know the truth. In my long life, I have learned that to truly live, you must be with those you care about. You, Freya, I said and looked at her, is the spirit of the group, the one that keeps pushing us to go one step further. You will be the holder of my soul. Oliver, I said, looking at him. I could hear Sarah's heartbeat quickening, not in jealousy of what I had said to Freya, but in anticipation. You are the tactician, always trying to plan ahead. Probably the reason why you and Freya constantly come to blows. A small chuckle went through the trio. You will be my mind, and that only leaves one thing. I did not speak her name. I merely looked into Sarah's eyes. They were full of glistening, unshed tears as she waited breathlessly. The heart of the group, the one that keeps us united through thick and thin. You are the heart of us, and my heart is yours, if you want it. I said, and got down on one knee, holding out a silver ring adorned with a black diamond.